Brazil is a large country. It's the fifth largest country on the planet, and it's relatively young. The median age is 32, as opposed to 39 in the US. YouTube is very popular there. It's watched by more Brazilians than all TV channels except for one. Bolsonaro, the far-right authoritarian president of Brazil and COVID denier among many other things, was elected in October 2018 and took office in January 2019. Not long before this, he was a fringe figure lawmaker with little national recognition, peddling conspiracy theory videos and extremist propaganda on his YouTube channel. That channel blew up and largely powered his electoral victory, as well as that of other YouTube stars, who are mostly very young and far-right. In 2019, the New York Times recruited a team of researchers at Harvard to investigate how Bolsonaro and the others had such a meteoric rise on YouTube. Their conclusion: YouTube's recommendation algorithm. The researchers wrote a computer program to start on a popular YouTube video and then follow the sequence of top recommended videos, the up next videos, and they ran this program thousands of times. According to the New York Times, quote, they found that after users watched a video about politics or even entertainment, YouTube's recommendations often favored right-wing, conspiracy-filled channels. Crucially, users who watched one far-right channel would often be shown many more. The algorithm had united once marginal channels and then built an audience for them, the researchers concluded. One of those channels belonged to Mr. Bolsonaro, who had long used the platform to post hoaxes and conspiracies. End quote. YouTube representatives said the company has since invested heavily in policies, resources, and products to reduce the spread of harmful information. But the recommendation algorithm itself provides an air of legitimacy to the fake stories that it peddles. Even if a particular conspiracy theory seems implausible, as the YouTube algorithm recommends a sequence of videos from different creators on the same topic mimicking each other, the viewer feels that all signs are pointing to the same hidden truth. Deborah Denise, a women's rights activist who became the target of an intense right-wing YouTube conspiracy theory smear campaign, said this aspect of the algorithm makes it feel, quote, like the connection is made by the viewer, but the connection is made by the system, end quote. In my other YouTube video, I discussed the development of the YouTube recommendation over the years, and in particular highlight the 2015 redesign of it based on deep learning that Google Brain, the artificial intelligence branch of Google, brought in to YouTube. Not long after this 2015 redesign, doctors in Brazil found that patients would come in blaming Zika on vaccines and insecticides, and that they were increasingly refusing crucial professional medical advice due to their own YouTube quote-unquote education on health matters. The Harvard researchers, just discussed for this New York Times investigation, found that, quote, YouTube systems frequently directed users who searched for information on Zika, or even those who watched a reputable video on health issues, towards conspiracy channels. A YouTube spokesperson confirmed these findings and said the company would change how its search tool surfaced videos related to Zika. Some of these conspiracy theory videos actually blamed Zika on the insecticides and vaccines that were the very things that were meant to stop Zika itself. It's very, very harmful misinformation. Okay, so there was certainly misinformation that was being peddled by the algorithm in Brazil, but let's go back to politics now. One local vice president of Bolsonaro's political party credited most of the party's recruitment to YouTube, including that of his own. He said he was killing time on the site one day when the platform showed him a video by a right-wing blogger. He watched out of curiosity. It showed him another, then another. He said he didn't have an ideological political background before that experience, and that YouTube's autoplaying recommendations were his political education. A co-founder of another political group, Movimento Brasil Livre, or MBL for short, which is often known as the Brazilian Tea Party or Brazilian Breitbart, it tends to be very young, very far right, and has a lot of conspiracy stories attached to it. A co-founder of this party said, quote, "We have something here that we call the dictatorship of the like. Reality is shaped by whatever message goes viral." So he's basically admitting that truth is irrelevant, that YouTube popularity and other forms of internet popularity is all that matters. This group, MBL, was only founded in 2014, mostly coalescing around a successful effort to impeach the preceding president. It had 6 victorious candidates at the national level in 2018, just 4 years after it was founded, and many more at the state and local levels. The YouTube channel of MBL went from 0 to 1 million subscribers in the year of the 2018 election, when Bolsonaro won. In the single month leading up to this election, MBL's channel reached the front page of YouTube every single day. And remember, the Videos that are recommended that are shown on YouTube's front page are chosen by its algorithm. 40% of MBL's funding came from YouTube ad revenue. The youngest person ever elected in the history of Brazil's National Congress was from this party MBL in the 2018 election. He was 22 years old at the time. Where did his popularity come from? Well, in his senior year of high school, he did a report on a Brazilian libertarian YouTuber, a report that he did as a YouTube video that he posted. His own YouTube video quickly went viral and launched his own internet fame. Another MBL candidate, now a state representative, said, quote, "I guarantee YouTubers in Brazil are more influential than politicians." The most watched video of this particular YouTuber at the time of the election was called, quote, 15 Minutes with Bolsonaro, end quote. It reached 3.8 million views. He also said, quote, "I'm really grateful to YouTube because it turned me into what I am today." He won his local election with 500,000 votes. In previous years, that same position was typically won with around 20,000 votes. So turnout was just monstrously larger than it ever had been. And it's hard to think of any reason for this other than YouTube.